Local time is good. We are good. You are good.
Good. Super green.
Super great. Oh God, really? That's making a comeback?
Never left.
Please. What? How did it not leave? It should have left. It should have just left and stayed left. I mean, not like, I'm not a big fan of, what was it? Fifth Element.
You're not a big fan?
No, it's not like I'm not a big fan of Fifth Element, but seriously. That one should have just...
It's cereal?
Like, it should have just stayed where it was, right? That's what I'm just saying. Hey, don't, you know, it is what it is.
Gotcha.
All right, we'll go live here in about 20 seconds.
20
seconds. Oh, yeah. Hey, we're going to surprise everybody by actually being on time today. Mm-hmm. You said it, not me. 10 seconds.
You said it, not me. 10 seconds.
That's right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and... Howdy, welcome to Not Your Average Show with Mike and Corey. It is, what is it? It is the 24th of February, 2021.
All day long.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God. How are you doing, bro?
Good, man.
We got so much to talk about today. Like, so much.
Some things to...
Many things. Areas of things that we've been paying attention to for the last couple of weeks that need some updates. We're going to take another crack at the 7-minute update or the 7-minute summary. Yeah, we got to get that done today.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some things we could add, we could say in it, so we might as well.
We got to do that. We got some new car stuff for you today. We got air taxi stuff for you today. We got Star Wars news for you today. So it looks like there's some stuff going on there and some sad news for a couple of other, well, you know, we'll just get to the sad news. Oh, by the way, Tiger Woods, dude, get well.
Oh, geez, yeah, we didn't say we were gonna talk about that.
But we didn't say we were gonna talk. Because it just popped in the top of my head. Tiger Woods, get better, because that sucks. We're fans of golf, and which brings me to a segue, Corey. You know what we have to do soon?
Play golf.
Yes, we do, and we have to figure out a way how to live stream the actual golf tournament, which will be just me versus Corey. The tournament of nobodies.
The tournament of a scramble.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a scramble, best ball.
Well,
or we gonna just
when Corey and I play golf, it's basically
a shit show.
And however many balls it takes is how many balls it takes.
We're not out there to impress anyone or even come home with the same amount of golf balls we left with. It's mostly just to have some fun.
It is.
Improve is always
sure
a goal, but not a
yours or mine.
It has no timeline. Let's say that it has no timeline. It's like I'd like to get better, but I'm not gonna push it.
Okay.
Push it real good.
You're just full of them today, aren't you?
Sure,
look at you. You're just running the gambit. So we do have kind of a schedule that we need to kind of get through today because there's so much to. Also, by the way, today is what?
No, go ahead.
Well, no. What are you laughing at?
There's just like we're talking and then there's shit.
I forgot about this. We're also going to debut the Rolex 24 Part 2 4K.
Yep.
No 1080p this time around. This is going out straight out 4K. I think it's better than the first one. I think maybe we could be wrong. So when you guys get your hands on that one, let us know because it will be debuted live in the show just after we do the 7-minute summary, and then the 4K version is going to take a couple hours to process still on YouTube, and then we'll release it to you guys, the public. So we're excited to bring you that as well. So the 4K version of that will be up today.
Exactly.
And then we're working on another project, which is a short.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the next thing. We're actually gonna produce a 4K short for YouTube on the Rolex. That's coming up. How's Roscoe?
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. Hey, Roscoe. What's going on, bro?
He's really stressed here. You know.
Oh, obviously.
Highly upset.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we've got a couple of things to touch on you today. So we figured that these are short burst informational things that we're going to do. So we're going to take another whack at the 7-minute summary.
Yep.
Now, because of technical reasons, we've ditched the 7-minute summary clock because it sucked, because it was garbage, and it ruined our production value.
We're just going to have a timer.
If someone... wait, hold on. I'm going to start a timer here.
Jesus.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can do that. If someone, though, wants to turn around and time us in chat, by all means, do so, because if we get this wrong... we should be held accountable for not being able to do something in 7 minutes. All right. And with that said, I'm gonna set things up here for a second.
I'm going first.
Yeah, you're going first. So you got to get ready here.
I'm ready.
Hold on. Well, I'm not ready. I got to get everything ready. Okay. What do we?
Ready.
Hold on. I got to look at my notes here. Oh well. Okay. This one's kind of interesting. Let me just do that. And yeah, I'm doing the share here.
Ready?
Wait, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. 7-minute summary coming up here. All right, we're on you. We're on you now. Ready?
I'm
and
ready.
you've got the helm in 3, 2, 1. 7-minute summary. Go.
Start. Okay, cool. So first off, a 7-minute summary. We're going to be reviewing something. Again, these are all things we kind of talked about before. This is an article from AOPA. I found this just recently. I think I found it yesterday. It's from Terrafugia. If you guys remember, we talked about Terrafugia as the flying car that got light sport certification from the FAA not too long ago. Actually, it's pretty recent news, actually. But the biggest change in this whole story is they have, quote, massive layoffs and have changed the direction completely, basically, in the sense that they're, like, as we said in summary down there, they're shutting down their operations in America. And they're literally moving they fired everybody over here, and they're moving all their IP, all their intellectual property, and their future development to China. That is what's happening. And I find it interesting, not just on China, because China's got a lot of things going on with air taxis as well, but the fact that Terrafugia just got certification. It's kind of like,
I know why they did it.
Like, bam,
nope.
Thanks for that. Nope. Out of here.
It makes sense. You know why? Because
no, China, I get it makes sense, but it's just like
China copies are foreign.
No, I get that. I get that. That's probably why it worked, because since it made approval here,
right,
as Mike just alluded to, a lot of the countries will share some of the methodology and even some of like legit verbatim words of their aviation regulations.
Absolutely.
And so that whether that's the case or not here, or to some degree. There you go. But anyway, there you go. Terrafugia, the one we reported on a little while ago. Bye-bye. Not in America anymore. So
yeah, that's sad. And you know what's also sad, Corey, and unfortunate for all of us, is that in the news of music and dance, Daft Punk breaks up after 28 years with an 8-minute epilogue video on YouTube.
Yeah, man, I do like Daft Punk. I was a fan of the Tron movie.
Oh, I know,
Some
right,
pretty
man?
good tunes there. It's kind of the stuff I play on my Twitch channel.
Yep. So, okay, look, big Daft Punk fans. The preview of the video is actually up on YouTube. It's interestingly enough, the way it looks like how the video plays out is kind of their story of how it went down. You know what? Cheers to Daft Punk for entertaining people for 28 years, because they did a fantastic job. We've been big fans of the music. On top of that, they went out with class, because the way that they did this video, it's actually poetic, and there's a lot to it. We wish we could show you the whole video in the 7-minute summary, but unfortunately, we got too much to get to. But hey, to Daft Punk, thank you guys for...
The link's down below.
Yeah, it is down below.
The link is down below
in the
Daft
description.
Punk video.
Yep.
It's in typical like artist fashion, as Mike said. It's kind of just poetic. There's not even any talking in there. It's just kind of a hey, thanks and goodbye. So check it out. It's cool. Yep.
Yes, it is. And on another topic of things we have to say goodbye to, and it's always my fun and pleasure to deal this to you. West Coast chain Fry's is shutting down business in the electronics world after 36 years. And this is a crazy bomb in the electronics world, because you would think, after going through a pandemic in which electronic sales soared through most of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I guess what they're basically coming down to is the fact that this is the claim that they were more based in the brick and mortar, and they didn't have a strong enough sales force out there in the virtual world of shopping against Amazon and other like carriers. So unfortunately, after many years, and I don't know about you, but I've purchased many of my stuff from Fry's in the past. And if you're a tech junkie out there and you're like one of those guys that would go to Fry's, sad to see them go, because it's just one less chain that we have an opportunity to take a look at. So that's a sad one. And then finally, with what is probably one of the bigger follow-ups in all the things that we've done here on the channel so far, we've actually gotten a lot of hits on the video for Joby Aviation. And with a follow-up of what's going on with the folks at Joby, we're going to shoot it right back to Corey.
Yep.
And...
Yeah, you got it? Ready to go?
You are ready to go, sir.
So just to tag and kind of spend a little bit more time at the end of our 7-minute summary on this thing. We talked about Joby Aviation multiple videos ago. It's been a pretty big hit. We've been interested in air taxis and electric air taxis and VTOL aircraft and electric VTOL aircraft and technology for a while anyway, and this seems to be something you guys are quite interested in as well. And so here we go with the latest news from Joby. Literally from this morning, I found this. Joby Aviation will merge with an SPAC, so a special purpose acquisition company. We talked about this in the previous video, that's was going to be what they were going to do. It's been announced that it's been finalized. It's called the Reinvent Technology Partners. and a deal out of California for the California-based company Joby. It's for 1.6 billion in cash, and resulting in a post-monetary valuation of the company at 6.6 billion. This is only going to continue to let them continue on their way to making this thing actually work. As we mentioned in that report we showcased a while back about from Lufthansa. Joby is kind of the leader in worldwide electric air taxi technology, VTOL stuff right now. And along with that, they've also released their first video of the actual aircraft flying in flight. They've been keeping their operation under wraps actually since 2009 when this guy started this company. But now it's really picking up speed with the military and of course SPACs, and really actually now securing capital to make this thing really come to life. And they got a video now we can check out, and it's
pretty cool.
It looks like it works just fine. I mean, obviously it's testing still, but it's working. So.
And stop on that because we're 5 minutes and 40 seconds. We made it through the 7-minute submarine. We're under time on that, by the way. Boom. There it is. All right, so here's another thing. Also, I am predicting that Joby is going to go a lot further than just this 1.6 billion that they've raised, because they also have a confirmed order from United Airlines that would be operated under Mesa for providing air taxi service in the not too distant future after this thing proves out. And that's why we're going to take a little bit more time here to just kind of break into the conversation about Joby, because I think they're gonna make it.
Yeah, it's as we said, as we talked about in that report. That report also had an analysis of how much capital it would forecast to take to make something actually come to market in this day and age with the state of everything. And Joby's way over that threshold. I think it was 700 million or to just kind of make something happen. And Joby's way above that, obviously. And the partners they have, if you guys recall, they're partnered with the Air Force, U.S. Air Force. They're partnered with Intel. They're partnered with Toyota now. I think there's another one too. Geez. Uber, of course. I forgot to mention that. They're partnered with Uber. Yeah, they're
hitting their stride.
They're on the way. Yeah, they're on the way. And I think it's Mike and I were talking about just before we started the video was what it really looks like in a few years leads to be seen still. Like how prevalent air taxis become and who really will end up being the forefront leader in 5 years, 10 years.
And like we've had previous discussions.
But it's not going away.
But sorry.
That's
good.
Yeah. No, that's the main point, is that it's not going away. And
anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's going to be VIP transport as the initial like business, what they do, or kind of like Lilium. If you guys remember us talking about Lilium as well. Lilium is obviously, it'll be to an extent VIP transport, but they're putting in vertiports actually in multiple places in Florida, not just in the Orlando area, but there's going to be,
because we're flat,
all of the main areas, Tampa, West Palm Beach on the bottom there, Miami. So
my question is still
they're going to be coming to market. Yeah.
This is still my question. Flypad, right?
What's that?
It's flypad. That's what I'm gonna coin this term now before anybody else does.
Okay.
Because the interface on this device is one of the biggest things that I think is going to be challenging towards them making the jump from being a commercially available aircraft with a pilot manipulating the controls to these automated taxi services that are basically going to be flypad devices, right? All the integration will be through some sort of touch surface inside the cockpit, and then therefore be run automated by someone offline, or not on board the aircraft. But the other part of that is we hadn't seen it fly. So do you want to go ahead and roll the video of them
let's
flying
do it? I mean, we've been talking about Joby for a while, and
we have.
Let's roll that footage.
Roll tape on Joby flying for the first time here. Yeah, I don't know about what's up with the shirt, but this guy looks like he's gonna rob the joint. Just saying.
When this video goes, I mean, obviously we're watching it too, but watch. There's a close up of the nacelles in the front.
They tip.
Coming back into the airframe, but it's
things. It looks nice.
So it's full scale, right? That's something to take note of. This thing is flying, but it's also full scale.
There it is.
I mean, check that out.
That is pretty cool.
So I was talking to Mike about this weeks ago. What kind of force is on that hinge?
You know what, though? I don't think it matters anymore, because I figured out that their engines are actually housed in the actual prop cone. So it really doesn't make... Yes, I know what you're talking about on the hinge itself, but
I don't mean there's a shaft there with like a knuckle gear or anything. I mean like just the hinges themselves, the force, the lift force is going through that hinge.
I think.
And since there's 6 of them? Yeah, since there's 6, how
I
much
think
force with
honestly, I don't
loading
think
and all that. How much force would be going through each?
I don't think it's honestly nearly as much force as we think, because we still think in the term. Well, at least I know myself. I'm still thinking in the terms of one disc creating all the lift, and this lift is going to be diversified over
Sure.
how
I
many?
guess that's six
Six?
lifting rotors.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
and I mean at slow speed, of course, because there's lifting. The wings and stuff make at speed. But I guess looking at that exact picture you have right there as well, I know we can get that showing there as well. You can see that 4 of the nacelles appear that the engine is not tilted out of the nacelle, right?
right.
But
So
two in
the two fronts.
the 2 in the front. I mean, look at that hinge. I don't know. I just just as a little bit more technically interested, I just would be curious to really look at that mechanism there at the hinge and see. Look at the data on that. But I mean, that's neither here.
So
nor
here's
there.
the thing, right? The design of that, and specifically the way that this hinge is designed right here. Okay, the reason why they're trying to get away from one solid rotor disc is because we've mentioned this before in the show, that the biggest factor in limiting forward airspeed in a vertical aircraft like a helicopter is retreating blade stall. And by using standard props and lifting devices like wings, you get around the limiting forward speeds, which is great because it improves your efficiency. However, these rotating nacelles, as Corey's alluding to, it means that there's going to be a second stress on this when this goes into the vertical or at slow speed when it transitions to flip these nacelles or the prop in the direction to maintain vertical flight, right? And it's worth mentioning that no one knows how much force this thing is really going through, because there's other active lifting surfaces that are taking some of that away. So it remains to be seen. I don't know.
I'm just super interested.
It is cool. It's a cool discussion because, hey, let's face it.
But there you go.
Between what was the other one? The Taro, the one that we talked about on Monday. I forget the name because their name isn't as catchy as just Joby. The Flyo Terra, whatever. The other one.
Jet Up Terra?
The Jet Up Terra, that's it. I'm kind of remember that one. Because I think...
Yeah, Jet Up Terra. Obviously, the way they're going about making thrust, as it would be
is different.
In that case, is just a different mechanism from rotors.
So I'm calling it between Joby and Jet Up Terra. I think those are going to be your 2 major players in the not-too-distant future in the air taxi market as of right now.
I think I have to do more research on Jet Up Terra to see if they've really... what their business model looks like, if they've actually got like capital coming in to happen.
Right.
And I guess that's what I was going to say about Lilium. While Lilium is doing a lot of very small ducted fans, like a whole lot of them built into the wing. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like
I'm liking what I'm seeing in Joby. Obviously, I'm really
so is a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah, I'm really enthusiastic because the way that theirs works, it seems to be more practical right now.
It's a bit more traditional with a new spin on it, and I don't. Again, I'm not throwing puns out here on purpose, people. I'm just saying, when you look at it, it's like, okay, yeah, that should fly. It doesn't make you think, why is this thing like flying?
Oh, that's too funny.
Okay. Anyway, here we go.
I had to.
Anyway, here we go.
Because it was there.
Here we go.
All right. So with that said, hey guys, remember we're trying to get this information to you. So if you get a chance, like, subscribe, and go ahead and hit that bell so you can be notified the next time we go live, and the next time we drop what is going to be a world premiere video. Obviously, Roscoe is totally excited. He's beside himself in the fact that we are ready to drop.
He's asleep. Part
2 of our series in the Rolex 24-hour race from 2021.
Drop it.
Now, you can't drop it yet. I gotta work it here for a second. So basically, scenario is the number 1 video was basically the tester teaser to kind of get you to the point where the experience for a fan and what it would be like. And Corey and I went on this experience as well to try to capture as much as we could. And this time we're just going to shut up. We're going to drop this one, let you guys watch it, and we hope you enjoy it. And then, like I said, at the end of this, probably sometime 6, 7 o'clock tonight, by the time it's fully uploaded, will be the full-on drop in 4K. And without any further ado, I give you our Rolex 24 preview and world premiere.
Numero dos.
There we are.
Did you get it? I got it.
I got it.
We're good. We got it. We just got it. So the funniest part is that just before we went to start engines, the battery on this camera died. We probably had the last little bit of silence we're gonna have because that's the way it goes. Oh, your plug's in a minute. Yeah, it's time for your plug.
Porsche side by side. Down the road, we had the Ally Cadillac racing car. Jimmy Johnson driving. So
talk in order for you to hear us because it's loud.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, it's obviously we're shooting the section for the second time. It's been the first time. And I was saying exactly on my phone before I set the time exposure. An article popped up on my phone that said a lot of the classes have had a lot of problems. It's funny because we're sitting here talking about shooting stuff, shots, walking around, and you can't actually have lunch.
Oh, yeah, we had to watch what's racing.
sucked. Actually, it was pretty good.
That's a bar.
Love the sound of those engines.
That is it, folks. That is the oh man, we are there. That is the world premiere of our second installment of the Rolex 24 video, and that's going to be out in 4K sometime this afternoon after the upload completes and the compression completes from YouTube. But I hope you guys liked it. It's again, it's more about the sights, the sounds, the feels of what it's like to be there. We went with, obviously the first video didn't have any cars in it whatsoever because it's just the pregame that's I guess is the best way to put it. And then that one we just pumped up the volume, showed you the cars, showed you how close you really can get, and how that's just a visceral experience. One of the best races to go to, Rolex 24.
Yeah, how it just keeps going. It's a 24-hour race. If you're into racing and lights, the smells, the whole atmosphere is just, it's a whole day, literally 24 hours of just solid racing, and there's just so much to see. If you're there, if you have the opportunity to go, obviously we can always go and take a look at it through our videos, or we'll be happy to take you guys along. But yeah, if you're able to go, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Let us know if you're able to go and maybe meet up sometime. Yeah, it's cool.
It is excellent. And yeah, I mean, for us next year will be another one, and we're still looking at going to possible Sebring.
I don't know.
We're gonna radar that one. Something to talk about in the not too distant future.
Talk about it, actually, yeah.
All right, so as a kickoff into the same conversation, I will take us one more step down the road until we close with some big George Lucas news in Star Wars. And that is basically, there is a new car that is on the horizon, so to speak.
New car? It's new.
It's new, but it's new to... Okay, it's new to... Hey, Audi has released images of the 2022 Audi E-Tron GT, and it is bigger muscles on the juice, apparently, as they say, although we have a problem, because at the same breath, the best look yet of the Taycan Cross Turismo is coming out by Porsche, which makes no sense to me, because when you're going to release a new car, okay, I'm not trying to be super critical, but I am trying to be super critical in one respect. That is that it's a new car, right? Or at least it's supposed to be a new car, but
Yeah.
technically there's more than meets the eye because we have great exclusive footage here of the new Audi, and it's looking fantastic.
Mike loves
Okay,
this.
this is a really, really great looking car, so don't get me wrong here, but here's the first shot of it that they released in the press release.
Sure.
Yeah, it's fantastic looking, right? So here it is, right? It's got, literally,
It's a lot like a Porsche to me. I
it
don't
looks a
know.
lot like a Porsche. Just saying.
Highly suspicious.
Highly suspicious of the fact that in actuality there's a little bit of bait and switch going on here because guess what, folks?
Front's different, but I mean, not a lot.
It's a Porsche Taycan, and we're a little critical because hey, we're big sports car fans, right? Corey's obviously a massive electric car fan.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
a big VW fan, which is in the family of Audi and Porsche. Okay, however, when they pulled this maneuver, it was more like, hey guys, really? Because you're really not fooling anyone. And the difference is also in the fact that when they turn around and they do something like this, which is they produce a car that they say is an all new design for a different manufacturer. But if you look at the window lines between these two, okay, the actual window lines haven't changed at all. There's nothing different in the window lines. The only thing that they've done is basically flare out a fender. They've kept the side scoop on the side. It's basically like Chevy and when they did the Camaro and the Trans Ams, they were very lightly
A lot of
modified.
those cars, they share designs.
So many of them out there, and I was just really disappointed at the fact that hey, you know what, you're Porsche and you're Audi. And secondly, if you're gonna turn around and introduce a new vehicle, okay, like I'm not really trying to be super critical, but I am. All right, the difference is if you're gonna turn around and say that you're gonna make a 4-door flying brake, okay, which is basic, or shooting brake, I should say, which is basically what this Porsche looks like is going to be, is a shooting brake 4-door. Well, that harkens me back to the fact that isn't Audi the owner of the Avant, and that series of being like the super fast station wagon? Wouldn't that car have made more sense to be in the Audi stable than the Porsche stable?
I don't know.
Come on.
I mean,
really? It's like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I can certainly see. I can certainly see the similarities. I mean,
Sure.
pretty obvious. It's kind of. I mean, they're all trying to hit on this the electric thing, and for what it's worth, obviously a lot of the manufacturers are claiming to be full electric by X date.
Sure.
And everybody's want to put their foot in there and try to honestly take up some of the market that's already growing from other manufacturers that have cars that are really out too. So, I mean, it even mentions here. Let's see, that they're trying to experiment with the Audi. They're even trying to experiment with some differences with like where the batteries go and things.
Sure.
So it's not all just like skateboard, where there's batteries on the bottom. But I mean, on the face of it. How many other people are going to care about that? They're going to be like,
No,
"Oh, that looks like a Porsche."
Look, I know.
I don't know.
Look, I know that Porsche and Audi have rebranded vehicles before, but generally in most cases, they've done enough to either hide the glass line, change some massive, body structure parts. So at the very least, what's underneath the chassis, is still a Porsche, but on the outside it looks like an Audi, right?
Yeah.
And even when VW gets that dummy down version without the big, twin turbo horsepowered, SUV, and everybody's like, oh great. And then let's not even add on the fact that Lamborghini, obviously out of the entire stable, gets the best looking cars. Okay, everything at that aside, This is such garbage from them. I'm sorry. And look, we're innocent bystanders here. Obviously, we haven't seen it in person.
Yeah.
This car might look completely different, but come on. It's like, all right. So, and that's why I titled it Audi Pulls a Fast One. So there you go. But we have actually one more topic to discuss in the show today, which is way, way, way bigger.
Yep.
And I'm going to kick this one because this one's going to be a discussion.
Yeah, let me bring it up the first part, and then you can talk about the game because that was something we just got from a viewer. Somebody just told us about a game that's coming out too, but we'll get that's just the next part just after that. So So I'll kick it if you're ready.
Yeah, you're ready. Go ahead.
So basically, I just saw this just yesterday. It supposedly was something that was confirmed 22nd, so just 2 days ago. But it says confirmed. George Lucas is now writing the next Star Wars series. He's back, not just as a consultant. You guys are keeping track a little bit closer of like Mandalorian and some of the other TV shows and things. He's had his hand as kind of a consultant here and there and doing some things, but legit, this is saying he's like gonna be writing stuff again, and
Welcome home.
we just it's kind of like, Han going to Chewie, we're welcome home, back when they step on. So we'll see. Geez, we'll see where this goes. I mean, a lot of people will argue they like some of the newer stuff, like say Rogue One, like so had a different spin on showing things, but
Sure.
past that, I've heard a lot of people say 456, episode 456 is like the best.
Absolutely.
They like the most, right? The
Mhm.
original trilogy. The other movies that were added on as the prequels, as you know, and then the ones later, they were like, they just didn't have that same like
Vibe.
They just weren't as good. I've heard a lot of people say, and so Lucas
Jar
is
Jar
coming
Binks.
back, and we can only wonder actually where he's going to go with this. Is he gonna? Are we going to see some follow on to the characters you already know and love, or are we going to see like something totally new? I don't know, but anyway, there you go.
So here's the funniest thing, right? And now I think the downfall of that series was obviously Jar Jar Binks, and what a lot of people are overlooking. I'm serious, okay?
No, I get you.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people would back me up on that one, right? So the other part of it is that look, obviously Lucas coming home is one thing, but I did not know that Disney Plus already had in the works the Ian McGregor reboot of the Jedi series, right?
We got Andor is supposedly in there as well.
Yep.
They're we're not going to get too I wouldn't say political, but like too ingrained in social media on the Cara Dune things going on with that. If you guys are watching The Mandalorian, which I thought was a good fun series, the actress who plays Cara Dune, an ex shock trooper, she got in some spats with Disney on social media, and thus has been let go. Supposedly she was going to be in another one of their spin-off series for Stormtrooper kind of stuff. Or
Sure.
no, what was it called?
I think it was going to be her prequel
Yeah, what was it gonna be
information.
called?
I can't remember what it was going to
anyway,
be called.
So the point is, if we like Star Wars, there's a lot of good stuff coming in Star Wars. We can only hope there'll be more good stuff now that Lucas is going to be more involved.
Well, he's an excellent storyteller. He started you off on the first trilogy, right? He did a great job, and his biggest thing was that when he originally went to the studio shot him down on making such a big, elaborate production.
Oh yeah.
And it turns out that it took him a long time to build up this universe. And it also is worth noting that J.J. Abrams helmed both the Star Trek and the Star Wars universe simultaneously,
that's true.
and did a great job with his Bad Robot production company and how well that worked out for them. But to see George come back to the reins on this one, I think is massive news. And if you're a Star Wars fan, I don't think you could be anything else but excited. Right?
I mean, we even talked a little bit again before the stream about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know you just mentioned that, but I mean, there's now, I think it's been confirmed now, if I'm not mistaken.
It is
Obi-Wan
confirmed.
Kenobi has Ewan McGregor back, of course,
Mhm.
but also has Hayden Christensen coming back as Vader, whether it's a vision or a memory or something, but legit, he'll be in there as Vader. I mean, there's some cool stuff. Cool stuff coming.
Well, imagine if you're still George Lucas and you're trying to tell this story, that you still have so many gaps in between movies that you can fill in, right?
Well, that's the thing too that a lot of like maybe not hardcore fans would know is that sure there's these movies and George had a vision, but his vision goes way past just the cinematic.
Look at Rogue One.
Just go on and on about these characters. I mean, he's got so many things to say about this.
Look at Rogue One.
He's back, so
right when I saw Rogue One. Right when I saw Rogue One,
Yeah.
I thought it was a great departure from the standard delivery of Star Wars movies because
like the every guy movie.
yeah, it was gritty,
But
it was dirtier.
That's how it would be, though. Yeah.
Sure, right? It was almost like I looked at it as like the Saving Private Ryan of the Star Wars series because it got a little dirtier into some of the things, like what actual combat on the ground would have been.
Blocking laser bolts because you're a space wizard.
Right.
It's like, holy crap, this stuff can kill you.
It's true.
And there's
well,
millions of combatants other than people flinging lightsabers around.
Unless it's a stormtrooper, they rarely kill you.
Well,
but
as the story goes.
As the story goes, right? But look, now I'm interested to see, because I haven't finished The Mandalorian. I do not binge watch. I wait. I watch one episode per week so I can digest. And then a buddy of mine turned around and said, "Look, if you're really going to watch The Mandalorian, what you have to do is go back and watch Rebels." Because Rebels actually feeds in more information than The Mandalorian can deliver, and you'll have a much better experience. So then what I started to do was look at Rebels a little bit, and I said, okay, that's interesting, right?
Oh,
and
James, me too.
So there's more there that I have to take a look at. But even beyond that, okay, so
Actually,
What?
keep talking. I was just gonna say, James just said he'd love to see a Knights of the Republic movie, and I was just
I
gonna
was just gonna say that.
there was some news
I was just gonna say that.
that they announced a few new timelines. Here, I'm find this, but there's some new timelines
Mm-hmm.
that they might relate to some new movies.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try to find it again. But basically, the article I read about that was that I guess it was going to be Disney was changing around how the timelines were. There's like, I'm getting a bit obviously way in the nerdy stuff here too, but
Right.
how the timeline goes in Star Wars. If you look at like history of it, there's like before Battle of Yavin and after Battle of Yavin. There's all these like
Right.
timelines.
Right.
And I
Right.
guess they're thinking of scratching all that again and putting some new like eras in. Whether it's I'm trying to find the article, but
Well,
anyway,
you go work on that, because what I'll
Yeah,
bring up
yeah.
is then there's also obviously coming up that this is going to be a re-release of Star Wars Republic Commando is actually going to be launching on the PS4 this
yeah, oh,
April,
yeah.
which is new news that just dropped. Star Wars Republic Commando actually released in 2005, and it was basically the Rainbow Six of that genre in the Star Wars realm, bringing in squad tactics and battle scenes just like that to the Xbox and that whole environment. And while that shifted, it never really got itself back over to the PlayStation, actually their store or anything. It never actually released at that point. So now all of a sudden that's actually dropping. But however, this title is still available, I believe, in the old catalog on the Xbox 360, on the Xbox, and as well as on Steam. However, it's actually a massive departure in the fact that we did see announced just a few weeks ago that EA no longer retains exclusive rights to the Star Wars actual franchise. So it seems to me like in the not too distant future, we're going to see more things getting shaken up here in the Star Wars universe, which is exciting because if you look at what The Mandalorian did for the Star Wars saga, it created the ability for them to actually sell, I think, a live-action TV series. And they made it work. And obviously with the backing of Jon Favreau and others, there's massive backing behind that. So it's glorious if you're a Star Wars fan. Now, the other thing is, will we see a return to the full, to the big screen environment, which I think, did you find anything else?
I did.
What'd you find?
So if you go, I'm trying to airdrop it to you.
Tell me where to go. You can't airdrop. Well, you can.
I can't do it. Just if you do a search for InsideTheMagic.net and then say timelines.
Sure, I can do that.
Find it. And while he's looking that up, basically the article I found was from 3 days ago. It says it's basically saying that Star Wars is quietly retracting the after Battle of Yavin and before Battle of Yavin timelines. But what it's kind of getting along with is that they're introducing some new eras, and there's a High Republic, the Fall of the Jedi, the Reign of the Empire, the Age of Rebellion, the New Republic, and the Rise of the First Order. So while these and the old movies fall into these new eras, but basically what that's getting to is there was some talk about Republic before, and that just was what James was saying about Knights of the Republic, some kind of like older timelines, and that's as you talk about Star Wars and any of these other Star Trek. I mean, the amount of stories that George and the other authors have, like thousands of years before the movies. There's so much material. But the same James. I would love to see a remake. I mean, we're gamers too. I'd love to see a remake of like the Knights of the Old Republic game. I thought that was super good. But also like a movie from that timeline would be super.
So you're talking about the one that actually the fans want more Old Republic and petition years to?
No, not that one.
Which one are you talking about?
It's this one here. I'll show you.
Here, go ahead. Well, you know what? I'll do this. You can probably blast it to me in about 2 seconds. There you go. You can send it my way, sir.
Do it.
Do it. Send it to me, man. That way we can take a look. But it's exciting. I mean, The Mandalorian for me definitely gave me an opportunity to. I was actually really excited when they saw Boba Fett again. That was actually really cool to see his armor.
And it's the actual guy too.
Yes, it is.
That's a cool. Yeah.
Which was actually really cool. So here we go. So this is the one you're talking about. All right, Star Wars quietly retracted.
So what? It's kind of like another piece of the puzzle to say, okay, they're changing timelines around, and I have to ask myself, why would they do that? Why are they changing things that they've had for a while? And it's not the first time they've talked about changing timelines and how things are written. But when you go down and there's a graphic down, maybe halfway down the page, that shows the timelines, you're like, some of that fits into like the High Republic all the way to the left.
Oh, where are we going? Who, where?
The same article.
Sorry, where
You
did
just go down.
Down.
Keep going down.
Yep.
Yeah, just keep going.
Oh, timeline. Oh, wait, is it this one?
Keep going down.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So there's you can see the old movies. They fall into these timelines that they've kind of rejiggered reconfigured, let's say, but the far left there says the High Republic, and that's I haven't seen that on an official timeline. I mean, I have, but I mean, I guess I'm asking myself, okay, because there was some rumor that I thought I saw as well that there would be some stories or maybe movies or something, a game maybe, of that earlier timeline in history. So
they're gonna put in. They're gonna insert
James, possibly.
They're gonna insert the Bad Batch, which I know that was just announced that's gonna happen. Their solo story, right, which is another one. So then we have the Rogue One, which I really liked, which we knew took place just before A New Hope because that's what led to the destruction of the Death Star. And then we have The Mandalorian, which takes place after Return of the Jedi, which would have been the timeline in which Boba Fett died and was eaten by the
but before
Sarlacc.
all the new movies,
right? Okay, so that makes sense. And then we have all the movies that were actually video games, and then so now we have the High Republic.
But they've kind of put all that stuff on the right, and then on the left they have this new thing. And I'm like,
how are they
nothing there though. So
how are they gonna do that? I mean, so who's gonna tell that story? I mean, maybe is this Lucas?
George gonna step in and be like, I'm gonna fill the gap over there.
Well, the article says that George is going to be directing 2 episodes going to this new series on Disney Plus. However, that he's going to retain some of the reins on creative decisions going forward if this works out, which to me would sound like they're preparing for Lucas to retake some of the reins because let's face it, you can milk a story so far before you have to go back to the guy that actually created the cow, right? I just made that up.
He's happy to come back in and do some more stuff, so yeah.
Interesting. So there's so much more afoot going on, and today was like a trove of information.
Yeah,
so
a bunch of stuff.
There's a bunch of stuff to go over because we just realized we couldn't leave anything out on the day because there's just too much to report. So we're excited to bring you guys that, and we're happy that you guys have tuned into the show. If there's anything else you want to talk about, by all means, let us know because we have actually delivered, and we're under time.
Oh man!
Oh my
it was
god!
Condensed a bit, kind of shooting at you there, but yeah.
Here's what I want in my dreams: a Joby aircraft that looks like Slave One. Come on, that'd be worth it. No?
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean,
You wouldn't want that?
a lot of things.
Ah.
I'm just going through all the. If you could have, obviously, Star Destroyer would be cool.
Why would you see? It's not
obviously,
personal
there's
enough.
Zero chance you'll be able to run that thing.
Of course, it's not a personal aircraft. I want a personal aircraft. Star Destroyer to me is like I have to integrate with people, crew it up, and
there's it's a bad decision to pick a Star Destroyer because you can't ever keep it to yourself. I mean,
then
it'd be taken over by some.
Then you know what you really need, Corey. You need the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy. You need a Millennium Falcon. Nobody else can run the Kessel Run in what was it?
12 parsecs, which
12
is
parsecs.
Not a unit of time. That's a unit of length. Distance.
Oh God.
That whole thing again. But it's classic.
I get it, but why do you have to ruin the childhood dreams of so many out there by bringing in a physics equation that doesn't necessarily have to be talked about in what's basically a fictional universe? What I have to say. Anyhow.
Just pops in there, right?
As
they say in Ghostbusters, it pops in there. You say parsecs and that's not how it works. But
anyhow,
such is life.
Hey, here's the best part about today. Nothing really fell apart. Also, that's fantastic. So we can cheers to that as well. A couple of things we are tracking for you guys as well. We're still keeping an eye on the next SpaceX launch.
I have not seen anything new about it.
There's nothing. So currently
Although the Starship.
Huh?
The Starship may get tested this week.
Starship still might get tested this week.
The Falcon isn't.
But guess what? Starlink 17 has now been put back on the clock. It is now showing a day of 4 days. It's showing February 28th, Sunday, February 28th, and it's showing at what time? 8:37 p.m., which would make that a night launch. Guess what, Corey? We're working Sunday. Yeah!
Sunday evening.
Huh?
Yeah.
Sunday evening. So that looks like something. You know what? Here's the next thing we got to check because I know that Sunday.
Weather?
It just literally popped up that this is going to be something that's coming up for Sunday. And Sunday's weather looks to be fantastic. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 60s, which means we should be having great weather.
Let's see if there's any.
I don't think there's anything else coming through.
It'll be something to take a look at.
It'll be something to take a look at because it looks like
Hot off the press.
Hot off the press. We will be back in the and we have so much new stuff that we have to test for that, which hopefully will get a little bit more stability in some of our camera
Isolation
shots.
mounts, yeah.
Isolation mounts that
Yep.
we're gonna bring all new lighting.
Yep.
So that's going to be another scenario that we've got. We got a whole new lighting system. We're going to actually rearrange the cameras to do a little bit of different work.
Oh yeah.
And
Get a better shot for the launch right. So we're gonna have the zoom shot still, and obviously the wide angle and the table shot of us chatting. But then a little bit different actual takeoff.
The actual takeoff is going to be on a wider
launch.
angle lens, and if we can, I think the stream will support it. We're going to try to bump up the stream strength a little bit and maybe bring you. I think we were streaming at 1080p, maybe 30 frames per second. We might go to 60.
Oh, 60? Yeah.
We might go to 60 because it might be something worthwhile for us to do. However, that is great because there was a delay that we announced the other day, and that was basically due to the fact that they had lost the last booster. It didn't make it to the drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
Yep.
It splashed down, and it didn't really disturb the birds, but apparently there was a retro engine that was supposed to fire that didn't, and that's why they missed the pad.
And obviously it was far enough away that the birds got startled if you saw, but then they came back right away, and I was like, oh.
They're like, oh, birds.
That's not good.
Oh, birds. By the way, we were back on Battlefront a couple of nights ago. Playing Battlefront. We might have to jump back on Battlefront again now, or Star Wars Republic Commando.
Yeah, I had never played that, so
it was a great game.
Watch some videos and see, and also see it's on the PC, it's on Steam now, so I might see if there's some videos. But I mean, how well the multiplayer, what?
It is.
Is it big scale multiplayer? Is it like you and me versus computer multiplayer? What are we talking here?
So their multiplayer was both basically in the terms of very much like Rainbow Six.
Okay.
So when you had a squad of 4 people. It was you versus the computer. You were running through scenarios, but the scenarios were often really difficult. They had to be pre-thought out in what tactics you were going to use to approach actually taking down the scenarios. And they were all related towards storylines at that moment where the New Republic was basically being introduced into the movie.
We'll have to talk about it and see,
We'll have to take a look at that one too. We have to see.
Cool. Awesome.
With that said, I think we are done for today.
I think we're good. Right,
Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. And remember, if you guys have any suggestions, please, by all means, leave a comment in the comment section below so we can get back to you.
Yep.
And again, everything that we've got today is linked in the description below. And as soon as that 4K video goes up, we'll put that link in the bottom. And of course, we'll make an announcement on the channel that is coming to you live.
Exactly.
So we appreciate your time, your energy, and we thank you guys for the support. And we will see you all again on Friday. Take care, everybody.
From the couch, Roscoe and I. Thank you.
Oh, he's so excited.
He really doesn't give a crap.
Yeah, he probably doesn't. See you guys later. Peace. Bye. Oh, and I got a ride in a Ferrari last night.
Oh, did you put that in the stream?
Yeah, buddy.